Well, I'll wait for you to take that rip there. You ready to get rolling?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. The game's afoot, gang, and it goes a little something like this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is gonna be hard.
Hello and happy Tuesday, happening people. Welcome to Thought That Was Weird, the bizarre hot button topic show with even hotter hosts. Am I right, ladies? Am I right? Yeah? Yeah. That's what's up. I, of course, am Thresh Keishu. Are you gonna read the script? I worked really hard on it.
How how you as normally you introduce me. Um, I'm, I am of course CuyaDK as always.
Great! Say, Kuya, you have a good weekend?
Uh,
Super!
well,
So, Kuya, how about you hit us with your catchphrase?
d did we have we established a catchphrase? I don't.
Isn't that great, folks? Yeah. Truth to power, my friend, never gets old. Now, Kuya, I know you're wondering right now, how can I impress my friends with my cheese and meat boards?
Yeah, I love putting a bunch of like salami and cheese right on the wooden table and just like letting it
Great!
sweat and soak up the. I know. I don't like that at all. At all.
Well, you know what? Either way, today, folks, we're going to be improving our charcuterie board skills by talking with famed cheese artisan
We have a
and owner.
guest.
Yeah, we have two guests here. We have, of course, Mr. Bob Dobbs here, and we also have our dear friend Monsieur Crepia Baguette, who is also the famed cheese artisan and owner of
I hate the
Foreskin
spaghetti.
Cheese Creamery.
Foreskin cheese?
No, Foreskin. Say it right. Look, listen, we got this ad contract with these guys, okay? So we have to be able to pronounce this correctly. So
You
we
don't
get
think
paid.
we should make fun of the sponsor directly?
No, we probably shouldn't.
All
So all
right.
right. Well, you know what? We also got the catchphrase pulled up. All right, you ready to say the catchphrase together so we get paid?
I I
Uh,
have it in front of me.
all
Yeah.
right, cool. All right, ready on the count of three. One, two.
I can't resist eating the foreskin cheese. I, you're not saying it with me about eating foreskin cheese.
All
I can't
right,
resist. We're
studio
supposed.
audience. I know you want a slice of the goodness yourselves. So if y'all look under your seats out there, studio audience, you ready? Monsieur Baguette has given you each a block of foreskin cheddar.
Uh, where did this come from?
Yeah. So
Have you been in my house?
I,
Did
I
you come
no,
over here and slip a block of cheese in front of me?
I did not. I I mean,
This isn't even what I thought we were talking about today. I'm a little bit unprepared.
so so you want something a little more topical, right?
Uh,
I think we can manage something along those lines.
I don't even know what the topic is anymore.
cephalopod cuties, octopussoir, my sexy octopus teacher. Some common phrases used by a small but influential group of sexual invertebrate enthusiasts. But an even smaller, more heinous group of malevolent mollusk maters stands out. Today's subject: I taxidermied my squid lover into a hat. And I eat my own poop.
Well, Thrash, my love for poop started in 2007, 15 years ago. Am I reading the right thing? Do you think that the Canadians from South Park are just Geraldo? Do you think that's what the I'm reading the script to make sure you're not going to trick me into saying something weird like I started eating poop around 2000. I'm not saying any of this. Why would you have me say that? What are we even doing today? This is not what we talked about yesterday. This is
So,
the farthest thing from the truth.
the farthest from.
Yeah, I want to talk about the truth.
You want to talk about the truth?
Yeah, this has all been a farce so far. Tell me what we're actually talking about. Okay.
Yes, and welcome back to Truth Fist. I'm a guy with two first names because only betas have a second name. I'll be the first to say it. If you don't like the truth, then you can suck my 26th Amendment.
The 26th Amendment gives 18-year-olds the right to vote.
We've got a big one today, Kuya. This is it. It's the gay bomb we've been infusing this whole time, baby. The litter has finally clumped. The chicken has counted their eggs twice, and they just won't be fooled into roosting again. Anyway, so the big question: is the woke left phallically and satanically indoctrinating your kids with everyday food? Example. I mean, why do I suddenly feel attracted to men after eating this? I mean, what is this even teaching our children? Why do you need to humiliate us?
Fucking choke on a hot dog. All right. No.
Yeah.
No truth fist. I don't know what this is. We were going to be talking about Nathan Fielder's methods in the making of The Rehearsal, that TV show that we watched.
Okay. You know, did all the intros. I even went as far as to have a costume just now.
Why? Why is there cheese in front of me?
You know what? Yeah. Did you actually read the script? Like maybe I think you should sincerely finish reading the script out loud. Finish reading the bottom portion of the script out loud for yourself.
I read the part that you said we needed to be paid.
Well, this time there's a little section on the very bottom there that I think you should probably read.
There's a stage direction. Koya suddenly recognizes he's been manipulated by Thresh the entire time, though through the script in a similar manner to the Milgram experiment, which I'm unaware of. An experiment to see how people respond to extreme tasks given by authority figures, which is also part of the psychological labyrinth we will traverse in Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal. The script read today was also done so that Thresh could make Koya say, "Thought that was weird is better, if not more groundbreaking than wax." Or nothing is better or more groundbreaking than wax or the discovery of television amongst the bees.
That's
Koya
up for
also
debate.
realizes he may or may not have been potentially manipulated to say he eats Swarovski cheese. His own. Oh, wait. I just said I ate poop.
Yeah.
Other people's poop.
Hmm.
Is it weirder if it's your own? Was that late? Never mind. I didn't really learn what I didn't know what the 26th Amendment of the Constitution. I should. I'm gonna have to learn the Bill of Rights.
Well, that's not within the Bill of Rights. That's past the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is the
Oh, is
first
the
10.
Bill of Rights only like the first
It's the
like
first
10 or
10.
whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, and then the amendments are amendments.
And then the amendments are
They
well,
don't. They're not in the Bill of Rights.
the Bill of Rights were like the first establishing thing, like rights within the country, and then everything afterwards
Is an amendment.
was amendments after that. Like oh God, I forgot if what amendment was the yeah, like after those amendments, it was just like added on stuff like suffrage, the right to vote after 18, so on and so forth.
Also, Bob Dobbs was not here.
Yeah, and you know what, Kuya, I apologize. We've deceived the
No,
audience too. We actually didn't have the real
so
Bob Dobbs here,
truthful.
and I'm
Oh,
sincerely
okay.
sorry. That wasn't my intention to lie to all of you. I just wanted to, you know, create a nice, interesting environment for the spirit of discussion of Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal and fleshing out the themes of the show. Uh, and going back to what we were talking, where you mentioned the Milgram experiment. So within this show, The Rehearsal, Nathan makes mention of a British television show where there are a whole bunch where there's like a sort of like game show social experiment where they took people from the street and they had them go in front of a panel of switches with increasing amounts of voltage, and after every question that person in front of the panel is supposed to hit a higher percentage of voltage, which is connected to the person that he's asking, that whomever is hitting the switches is asking the questions. um, Kind of basing the level of like whether or not influences of authority have a sort of means to make people do things that they don't necessarily want to do. This experiment was also brought about around the time that they were doing like the Nuremberg trials, and they're trying to psychologically explain, that Nazis should be held accountable for their actions, despite the fact that they were, said that they were only following orders.
Was the guy actually being electrocuted?
No, there was actually nobody being electrocuted on the other end. It was somebody
Okay,
acting.
yeah,
There was somebody acting,
yeah.
like basically screaming out
I
in pain at the other end and pretending to be shocked. And the person flipping the switches, like, I heard something about this. It was something like in the initial experiment of this, 60% of people went the full amount of voltages, and potentially, you know, it could have potentially killed somebody in this experiment if this were truly done. Because the doctor kept insisting you got to keep going, even if there was, a little bit of like, disagreement about it. They would just
yeah.
keep going. And yeah, it definitely laid out a lot of very interesting, thoughts about, like, again, what again, just like we experience here, the authority of this experiment, the authority portion of this experiment is obviously the script, and again, much like you would think about, like, with like actors and things like that, how much are they willing to give within that moment to get the scene done in that sort of a manner. And that's at least where I was coming from when we decided to do this little experiment today. Um, so uh, yeah, over the weekend we just kind of we you just randomly brought this show up to me. I'm trying to remember what the context was. There was something
Well,
about it.
I've had it written on my list of topics for some time since I first watched it whenever it came out last year,
Hmm.
and mainly I'm kind of not sure. I kind of wanted to put Nathan on my list of bad dads. I don't know if he
True.
really counts, but I mean that's what kind of made me be like, you know what, let's take a look at the rehearsal because I kind of wasn't sure, and
Mm.
I'm still not, and I'm not sure if he's a real person or some kind of Chat GPT driven hologram.
Or like a Andy Kaufman, uh,
Yeah, yeah,
winner or runner up or something.
some kind of persona that doesn't even have a real human being behind it.
Like Joe Pera. You ever heard of Joe Pera?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
is that
That
what the guy's name was?
yeah, he's kind of got the mumble mouth thing, and he's got the glasses. And he kind of hunches his back. Hello, I'm Joe Pera. And he does the videos where he talks
And he
people to
was
sleep.
he was Charlie Coffin. I
He
mean
was
Charlie Andy Kaufman.
Andy. No, no, he
Oh,
was it?
I know who Joe Perry is. I know who Joe Perry is.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No,
No, I don't know
there's a
why. Yeah, sorry.
yeah the
Andy
Andy
Kaufman
Kaufman
was another
Award.
guy, also.
The Andy Kaufman Award is for
Oh, okay, okay.
excellence in
Yeah,
submerging yourself in character, basically.
yeah,
So
exactly.
like
Yes.
people
Okay, so yeah,
him
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Emo Phillips. I don't know if you're familiar with Emo Phillips.
No.
He's this tall, lanky comedian with a bowl cut, and he kind of talks like this and really
Oh,
exaggerates his words. And he's
oh
fucking
boy. Okay.
hilarious. He's great. You look him up sometime. But that's the size of why we're here to talk about this show. Let me. I came with slides. Um, so like starting off from episode one, like right off the bat, like I immediately, and again, just a forewarning for folks, massive spoilers for the show if you want to watch it
Yeah,
yourself.
I mean, seriously, this is a real watch this one without knowing
Hmm.
anything about
We're
it.
gonna try
This
our
is,
best
I
to
mean,
kind of
seriously.
yeah, we're gonna try our best to traverse around some of the bigger like plot points, but but there's so much to uncover to discuss here that I think we might not be able to help ourselves. So we will try our best, but you know, warning ahead. Um, so the show starts off with Nathan obviously trying to do another Nathan for You sort of thing, but instead doing uh, what seems to be this sort of reality show where he goes in and gives people the chance to have a rehearsal for embarrassing moments in their lives, embarrassing or pivotal moments in their lives. Episode one starts off with this gentleman whose name I completely forgotten. Uh,
Oh man, it's like core or something. It's something.
uh,
It's like core or coal or something like that. Something.
Orange juice, no pop. Yeah,
Yeah, orange juice no
core. Yeah,
pulp.
it is core. So core is a teacher who has been playing like bar trivia with a bunch of other teachers. As far as it was like teachers and other like professionals in town, and made some real good friends. And he came to find
Team
out.
of academics or something.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. So it turned out that this group of academics all turned out that they had master's degrees and were um again, really high in their academic careers, while Core here is just, he's got his bachelor's and a teaching certificate, and he doesn't exactly he doesn't have a master's degree, but he ends up lying to his friends. And there's one friend in particular that he knows is going to be thoroughly upset, and so he
He seems
prepared.
to think is a violent person.
And that blew me away. Like, you gotta wonder if they're still friends after that one. After he was like, she has the potential to become violent. Like I'm afraid that she's gonna whoop my ass or something. Um, but yeah, yeah, I found it super interesting how Like I don't know. I mean, I've never found myself like lying to like a group of people that I considered friends. But what I used to, but I used to pull a really sick joke when I like used to drink. What I would do is I would, so like this is also around the time that I had smoked like 2 packs a day. Um,
Oh,
I would get really wasted, and then I would somehow lose my lighter in the process. And so I don't know. I was under the impression that like um, people don't just hand out lighters very willingly to people, or like hand over their lighters very willingly to people, or at
okay.
least on my side of town. I don't know what it was. So I resorted to pretending that I like, and again, this is just, drunken pickled brain thinking this. I decided that, in order to resort to gaining a little more sympathy, I would pretend to be a German foreign exchange student trying to get a
Oh,
light for a
okay.
smoke. Yeah, it was a terrible concept. I don't know why I do it, but you know, I would find it comparable to that, where it's just like you you shield yourself from the reality of the fact that you don't know if it's yourself that people won't give you the lighter for or what, but you change it anyway. I don't know. I again, like this whole thing really ate away at my psyche because of how much I overthink
It's
things.
it's it
Yeah.
really. I think that why I find this so horrifying is that I think that what the level that Nathan is doing it on, when he goes to the extent of like building an entire house and running through this whole scenario and doing all of this stuff,
Hmm.
that's what makes it so a spectacle. And it is insane. But what is insane is that I feel that a lot of people are thinking like him and doing this kind of weird planning and like weird just psychological manipulation and just not actor just role switching, he
Hmm.
just his whole thing is like just how can I get people to just turn into other people, and also how can I also do that. uh and it really is, it is a master class. It is like it's an example of the absolute insane levels an act of manipulation can go, and
Oh yeah.
because it's so absurd, it's funny. But
Oh,
like
oh
I
yeah.
think that he's firing on a lot of cylinders that a lot of common people also fire on, and that's why it is frightening to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, I mean, everybody has had that moment, that like that dark alley moment where you think of, or you kind of plan out in your head on like well, if if somebody like tries to jump me from behind, I'll be ready with this move. If somebody tries to jump on me from either side, I'll be ready with this move, and I'll disarm this way. And I don't know, maybe I'm insane. But like that's something I've considered, like
I'm pretty glad there's
yeah.
a block of cheese in front of me today.
Yeah, isn't dude? I was so happy for that hot dog just now. That
That's
hot dog.
that was very funny. I didn't expect you to also have a hot dog.
Yeah, yeah, that was the point. Was for me to absolutely destroy that hot dog and still do the Alex Jones voice.
It's a guard shopping monster, man.
The hot dogs are turning the children gay.
Of course.
Which is pretty much how a lot of great media works, but that's besides the point. Anyway,
You know that lady talking about the Monster Energy drinks?
no. Oh wait, yeah. How she says that there's like symbolism in the
Yeah.
logos. Yeah,
The whole speech, she's got a whole chart of all the things on the label.
I have a feeling that there was that actually the Seattle Zombie lady had a lot of numerology things comparable to that, doing like talking about that sort of like New World Order devil stuff.
Boy,
If
people are really wacky about numbers these days.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. To which actually where is that dude?
Season episode 2 is that the numerology guy, and a whole, and it's almost like imagine his selection process, because he definitely selected the people that he thought were gonna say the weirdest things
Mhm.
have the most outrageous opinions. You know, be
Yeah,
into very severely day to day, minute to minute life guided by numerology.
absolutely. Um, so,
The numerology guy, I think, like,
oh
is
yeah.
like bordering on exploitation.
Mm.
Like, I feel like that guy, like,
Yeah,
maybe should have been a
we,
doctor
he,
instead,
he should have been left. He should have been.
instead of with
You,
Nathan.
you you open Pandora's box, and Pandora's box is a terrible roommate that crashes their car and doesn't need a license plate. Um, but we'll get to him in a second. But the one thing I want to talk about the psychopathy of making a 1-to-1 replica of the bar that our friend Core here is supposed to be confessing that he doesn't have a master's degree to his friend. I
This is what
love
I'm talking about. The extreme that he goes to is why it's not
it. Pure,
a crime.
pure, unadulterated insanity.
Yeah,
Like and the fact that this bar is continually used over and over again throughout the series is hilarious. It's beyond the fact that you made it, but you continually um hire actors to occupy it, and then eventually eventually gaining some like a 1 day art installation license to turn it into a bar, into an actual functioning bar. I
I
thought,
love that one of the tiniest little notes. Yeah, in this series is the fact that he eventually just opens a bar. That's very funny to me.
what was that, Nate's Lizard Lounge or something like that?
Nate's Lizard Lounge. Yes. Do you remember when he opened a dumb Starbucks?
I actually just watched that the other day. So I've never actually watched Nathan Do You because I found it initially kind of boring. Like the first episode that I saw, it was like really dull. And I
Sure.
kind of didn't really pique my
Some of it is
interest.
kind of like, nah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
honestly, as far as his original show, I was kind of like, okay. Like, there's definitely some episodes that are very cool, but
Mhm.
I was sort of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought the dumb Starbucks thing was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that is that. There was some, yeah,
I
some of that.
died. I watched so I watched like a YouTube Comedy Central clip where it had like the main chunk of the story. I didn't get to see the beginning or the end, but the fact that um he he what was it? He had a lawyer that he had signed a clearance of it was something along the lines of he had him sign a clearance for the show, and it turned out that there was like an underlying like sub note saying that like that upon finding out that the copyright case is like wrong, that the lawyer would be potentially liable or something like that.
Oh
And
yeah,
then the
yeah,
lawyer
yeah.
tried to take
Okay,
the
yeah.
shit tried to take the sheet away and then hide it. Oh man, like I don't know. Nathan's doing some fucking terrible things to people, and I
There's an episode.
mm,
It's later on. It's in like the final season, which I don't know if that's the third one, but
mm,
he does this thing where uh basically, yeah, he says, like, he goes to like a small, I this is gonna take so long. He goes to a small television shop,
mm,
and it's so fucking convoluted, but like I felt like the punchline was so good. Uh it's something where like the local, like, Nobody Beats the Wiz or whatever the fuck it was. They had a thing where your competitors, they would match your competitor's deal, right? So
yeah,
the small TV salesman set up a deal where his televisions were $1. So then Nathan had hired a bunch of people to go take the flyers for TVs for $1, go over to Nobody Beats the Wiz, get
mm,
their TVs, and demand that they pay $1 for them. and then bring them over to stock the small television place, right? But then the small TV shop could not be selling them for $1. So in the fine print, it was like you have to walk through a tiny door, and like they had to crawl through a tiny door that he installed in the back of the place, and through the tiny door was a room with an alligator in it. And then if they walked past the alligator and into and through another door, they would be able to buy a TV for $1. So then, for some reason, they got in somewhere in there. A law was broken, or something,
Yeah.
or for some reason they were liable for something. So Nathan was like, well, if I prove that the small shop the small television shopkeeper was mentally unstable, then we won't be liable for whatever we're liable for. So they go to the psychiatrist, and Nathan goes in. He tells the psychiatrist, he's like, he has a fantasy. My friend has this fantasy that he runs a television shop. And so the psychiatrist is talking to the guy, and the guy's like, yeah, well, I run a television shop. And the guy's like, yeah, what kind of things go on there, or something like, yeah. Nathan's like, tell him about some of the stuff that happens then. And the guy's like, well, there's an alligator. He has a tiny door in the back of it. But Nathan's leading it like it really is it's something. It's the way that the guy starts telling the psychiatrist about
Oh my god.
he starts telling the psychiatrist about how he owns this fantasy TV shop, and the way Nathan is just like, tell him about the tiny door. And the guy's like, there's a tiny door in the back of the shop, and if the customers walk through it, we have an alligator. But yeah. I
The customers walk through it. We
It
have an
was just
alligator.
so like that was basically an entire episode's worth of plotting and scheming that I tried to sum up. But
Oh
the
my
fact the
god.
way he ends, yeah, the way he's got this guy telling a psychiatrist that there's a tiny door with an alligator behind it just
I
kills me.
assume that he pre made all of the quote unquote insanity that he's supposed to retell this psychiatrist in order for him to be claimed insane, in order for him to not be liable for
That's like the plan, but when he gets in there, he's definitely just like leading the guy. He's just like, yeah.
dude,
I don't know if the guy is, yeah.
the epitome of
I
fucking
don't know. I don't
manipulation.
think the guy had the script. I don't think he knew exactly what was going on.
I don't think so either. Holy shit. Um, so
But that's a yeah,
that's a weird
that's the
one.
kind of stuff that goes on his original series.
Now, no, I wanted to discuss the I wanted to discuss Angela. I think we should move on to talk about her. So Angela. Oh wait, that's the wrong photo. I'm sorry. One second. Hold on.
Is the
That's
gold digger guy? Oh, is this lady?
no. That's Angela. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
That was the lady that had the Monster Energy drinks.
Was it Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No. No, but basically
I'm like,
that Monster Energy drink lady from 10 years ago
it,
is all
is it
right wing
sad?
discourse now.
Is it sad that our current political discourse has come down to, you know,
Numerology and
insert crazy
symbols
numerology
and
statements
sexy
and see a
and hot dogs,
and then you see
sexy M&Ms.
you have a freaking person in a high seat of office who's making decisions for a country, and when somebody makes a statement, oh yeah, that person said, like, Monster Energy drinks are practically insisting that, like, it's Satan's semen or something like that. And it would get, and I don't even bat an eye and go, yeah, that sounds about right for Marjorie Taylor Greene.
That was
I
her,
would
yeah.
believe it. I would believe it.
That's how she got her start, by
Uh, th-
protesting
no,
Monster Energy
well,
drinks.
no, she got her start by being an absolute douchehole. What was his name? David Hoggs,
Yeah,
the
that's the
gun rights
guy.
activist.
Yeah,
Yeah, way to go, bud. Like, way to, like, turn a tragedy into something that's empowering, despite the fact of how tragic it is. Um, but yeah, like, yeah, fuck that lady, And I'm gonna flat out say fuck this lady too. I don't get like out of all the people who got
No, it didn't. Thumbs down on old Angela.
thumbs down 100%. Not only not so again, not only did she just absolutely fuck off when it came to the kid to I should probably preface this. So Nathan
The second, the whole
second
project that becomes the whole series is
the rest
really just
yes.
like it's just a spectacle on purpose. He's just being insane on purpose.
I still think the insane thing is that the premise. So it's one thing to be like, oh yeah, like have a test baby for a month, and that's cool.
Yeah, see how it's like having a baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like you go and babysit for your family or something like that. Like that's whatever. This woman wanted to have a child, and she was trying to find a male counterpart, but per the the uh, the basis of the episode, she's supposed to find a male counterpart to start a life with and raise a child. And it turns so the basis is that like they start off with the baby is that she starts off with a baby, and then throughout and mind you, all these children that are throughout coming into this woman's life are all actors. You start off with a baby, but a baby can only be uh, on work release for so long. Is that basically it? Like they only
yeah.
they
All the kids could only be on set for 4 hours, so
mm,
they had this rotating child actor
then
being her son.
and
It in
they
a
ranged it from like from infant all the way to the plan was to go all the way to 18 within
yeah
the span of a month. Was it
with 6 months.
6 months? Yeah. So yeah, she's supposed to be like, and again, she's supposed to be like learning from this experience, and she's also supposed to be starting like an Etsy store for
Yeah,
making topicals and things like that. And she
was
just
yeah creams and essential oils. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
DoTerra.
and
Oh,
again,
that's what.
hmm?
What's
What
the plant that paralyzes you in Haiti?
I've oh are we talking about
The serpent in the rainbow.
yeah, the zombie plant? Shit.
Because doTERRA, I was trying to think of this the other day. doTERRA is a company that it's like it might be an MLM company, but they sell essential oils, which I'm sure this lady knows about. Uh, but the plant is something like doTERRA.
Yeah, I think it was Doterra, but yeah, yeah, but
Haitian zombie plant.
yeah, for
Sorry.
real. But yeah, no, she's just completely clueless. Like this woman is ridiculous. Not only is she like again, like I don't know, maybe it's because I have a mild like I don't know, like you hired to do a job, you try your best to do it. Like even if you go bare minimum, like at least try your best to do it. This woman gave no like not a real good effort when
Yeah.
as it pertained to being part of this so-called experiment. Um, and again, spoilers here. She doesn't do shit, and it infuriated me the entire time. Like, especially when it came to the kid. Like, the I can recall just like most of like the little like toddler kids just being like, "Okay, I'm gonna go in my room and fuck off." Like every single episode with this woman,
Yeah, it's
and
sorry.
they had a
That
couple. Yeah, they like the only moments that actually like any sort of like family like sort of situation occurring was when Nathan had to step in and be like, okay, like you need to actually take this shit seriously, and you need to find a male partner. And that's where we get to Captain Numerology over here, Robin, this guy. So like I'm gonna be flat out honest. So in my youth, I've gotten into some trouble, and I had to go to meetings and things like that.
You
and
had to go see the neurologist.
I had to go see the numerologist at my local AA meeting. They also made the coffee, which was pretty okay. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, um, yeah, because they knew how to read the instructions. They knew how to read numbers. It's a quarter cup per anyway. So like I knew a handful of people like this in any form of recovery. I knew so many people like this where they like were on the verge of death because like and again, it's not to dismiss people who have found faith within a near death crisis and find, some new, renewed personal vigor or what have you. That's great. That's fantastic. What's going on with this guy is a severe mental illness, and he needs to see somebody desperately. Like, so this gentleman was found. What was it, like Christian Mingle or something like that by Angela or
is
something
that
like?
what it was?
I
Yeah,
I
was
could
it
have
like
sworn it was something
Christian?
like
It
that.
was. It. I think it. Yeah, was she on like a Christians only dating site? I mean, that would make tons of
Yeah,
sense.
farmers
We
only.
didn't
I
really
don't.
even talk about. I don't think we even mentioned that aspect of Angela's whole deal
Oh, I thought I
quite
mentioned
yet.
that she
Did
needs
we?
a male
Maybe we
partner,
did.
and yeah, she was on she needs a male partner in order for to continue with this experiment, and Nathan makes a real heavy push for her to find a male partner so he doesn't have to do it.
No, I
Um.
just meant that we haven't talked about her Christianity.
Oh yes, we did not mention that. I
It's
thought
a
I made my
really
point really. I
a
Yeah.
primary aspect of her personality.
I thought I made that pretty clear when I threw Marjorie Taylor Greene up there. But yeah, no, that is a very solid point. We didn't actually state that she is a extremely devout Christian. Not
Is
like,
QAnon like a branch of Christianity? It's not
um
a different church. Is
it is
that considered a
well,
Christian thing?
I don't know God, what is it, like, it depends on, what's the step above the Westboro Baptist Church, like what's one.
Are those guys still alive? Didn't they die? Didn't they all
Well,
die
well,
from COVID?
their patriarch died. Like
That's cool.
but yeah. Yeah, yeah. I don't care if I get a TOS. Fuck that guy. He deserves to fucking
Oh, is that?
rot.
Are we not supposed to say that?
I don't think we're supposed. No, I don't think we're supposed to wish people any form of harm
You're
or
not
death
supposed
or
to
something
wish.
like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I mean, the deed has
He's
been
already
done.
dead. He's already dead. So
I'm not wishing death upon a dead man.
we are literally
That would be silly.
beating a dead
That would be
horse.
weird. Okay, we're dipping our toes into the TOS. All right,
Yeah, but no, I was joking. I honestly don't know if that's really a thing.
there's, I mean,
I'm sure there's
yeah. No, I
so,
blame, but you're right.
somewhere in a
You are
fine
right though,
print,
because
somewhere in a
you're
fine
not
print
supposed to
somewhere.
say. I'm probably not supposed to say. I hope the rest of them are dead pretty soon. You know, that's what's not allowed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, you just like No, I'm not gonna do the Trevor Moore from
All right.
Weirdest Kids You Know.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Sorry.
Oh man, no, that was funny. That was good. But yeah, this dude is severely mentally ill, and I also think he might have. I think it mostly has to do with the accident that made him a born again. I
Yeah,
think
is that what it was? Was he in a drunk driving accident or just a regular kind of accident?
um I don't think they
Or
really
do
established. I
is
don't
it
think
not
they
is
really
it not really
established that.
addressed?
I don't think
Yeah,
they really.
okay.
I
But
think they
he
established
was in a car accident. And
he
it's
was
yeah.
yeah, a severe car accident. He said he was going over 100 miles per hour and wrapped his car around a pole, and then again, I don't know if it was due to drugs that he ended up wrapping his car around the pole or
Yeah, yeah.
alcohol or what have you, but
It's
apparently
like yeah.
he had to deal with his own shit with that, and uh found the Jeebus and uh started talking to Angela, and this in turn ended up making like a very interesting. I thought this was going to be the turning point for this little experiment. I thought that, oh my god, crazy Christian plus crazy Christian equals
And we're gonna
even
see them
crazier
bounce
Christian.
off each other. That honestly, I would, yeah,
Oh man.
that would have been a good episode. They don't even really get to interact too much. Yeah, unfortunately.
No, and but when she offers him to join the experiment, and he's going back to his house to go pick up his stuff. So, mind you, he's moving in with a woman who has recovered from pretty much every substance that she's ever used.
Yeah,
Here's this
he's
guy
got a
who's claim.
bong in his duffel
Here's this
bag.
guy claiming to do the same. Like, again, like I abstain from I keep away from alcohol, but like when it comes to like marijuana, I obviously I don't claim myself, but I don't go around telling people, oh yeah, I'm sober or something like that, because I've known people to do that kind of crap, and that's disingenuous. Like at least be honest with what you're using. Um, but the fact that that he like, and I also believe that marijuana is also a very good tool for recovery, but that's besides the point. He is trying to bring this into this environment and cause it. He's I was wondering what it would have been like if he broke out the piece when he got to the house in
Right
front
in
of
front
her.
of her, right in
It
front
was
of the
just like,
kid,
all right, babe,
the robot
I'm ready to
kid.
move in and chill. Just popped
Yeah.
it. Um, but yeah, he was something else, and the fact that he only lasted one night, and it wasn't even with the real kid, was hilarious.
Yeah. Really, the people that he got to be on this show are all probably should not have been put on television.
No,
Probably, it really
no,
is.
and and
Like,
and
there
here.
is something like very vaguely exploitative about the
Mhm.
entire show, but it's also just this. Oh my god! But that's also the point. The point is that it's the most just deranged manipulation and just arc arc villain shit I've ever seen. Like
I have this feeling that
perpetrated in a semi-real environment.
I really am hoping that we'll get to that in a second. But what I
Okay.
wanted to talk about really quick, because it was a not a very like noted, it wasn't an episode that I can particularly say like oh yeah, like that, it was a very short segment within the larger project. But
Yeah.
the thing with this gentleman and his
Oh yeah,
brother,
this guy. Boy, yeah, this was really
that
something
that
else.
whole that whole thing, besides the fact that like they go out to Rising Cane and spew anti-Semitic shit to each other, is fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
And look at this.
I
This is a good. This is an excellent screen grab
he
of
was
Nathan looking at them like this.
like right after homeboy on the left here just dropped a hard J about his girlfriend. So the premise here is that this dude on the left here, his girl, he's got a girlfriend. He has a brother, um, and the brother is holding on to what was it, an inheritance from their grandfather? Was that
Yes.
correct? So the brother is refusing to give the ownership of the inheritance over to the brother here on the left because
Because they're both anti-Semites.
they're both anti-Semites, and one of them thinks that the other one it might could potentially be Jewish, and they're not certain because these people, this guy right here
And
has it's not I ain't got nothing against him or anything.
yeah, and
That sort of
again, someone
mentality.
that
That
maybe
sort
should
of
not have been on
mentality.
TV.
Yeah, no, and the fact that he after Nathan was sitting there trying to explain, like, hey man, that's not cool. You don't drop a hard J about people. That's
He's
not.
like, but I do want you to have an authentic, if that's how your brother's going to
If
tell
that's
it.
really, I want
It's
you to
like,
have
I
an
want you to have an
authentic.
authentic experience. I really think, and I told you this yesterday, like,
Mm,
I feel like Nathan heard that first conversation and the rest of this whole segment is just Nathan Nathan was like, well, let's just fuck with this guy
It,
for 15
it's
minutes
almost like
of
something that I
playtime.
would do.
Like,
Like
it really
yeah.
deranged. The way he turns the way he's got him literally digging for gold.
Oh man. And
Like,
again, spoiler for this episode, he
deranged.
ends
Okay.
up he so
Insane.
oh my god, what was it? The actor who was playing his brother in this little rehearsal of the brother on the left here basically going like, hey, like, I want I want my portion of our grandfather's inheritance. Please give it to me. The funny portion about this is that as soon as, like, this ends, Nathan ends up creating this little subplot with the actor, where the actor himself goes to the brother here and says, like, hey, my what it was his grandfather, right? It was like a similar
Yeah.
story, but his
It's the
grandfather
same
had a
story.
yeah, his grandfather had like a generator that he needed moved, and the brother's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem, I got you. But super kind to this guy, despite kind of the douchey way he talks, you know. So he goes out and he helps the grandfather, and then, like, what was it? On another occasion, had gone out and helped the grandfather again. Um, and then the grandfather admits that he had, like, buried some, like,
Gold.
gold. He had buried some gold, and said that
He needs, he needs help digging up his gold.
now, yeah,
So they go out into the woods to dig for gold. Nathan's got this guy digging for gold as punishment for talking about Jews in front of him. That's what you get for saying that kind of shit in front of
mm-hmm.
Nathan.
And then
You end up in the woods digging for gold.
oh, dude, that wasn't even the worst of it. The worst of
Yeah,
it
I
was
know.
when he
Oh, I know. I was there.
that wasn't even the worst of it. He made it. So the old man. So what is it? They cut to, like, an earlier discussion between the two here, along the lines of, like, well, I was there, like, changing
I
Grandpa's
was the one who
diapers.
was
Yeah,
wiping his ass.
yes, and this dude, well, in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the night, has to help this old guy who is too old to, take care of, like, he's very blatant, he's a little too old to be taking care of himself. This old guy takes a shit in the woods, and then he asks this guy to wipe his ass for him. And the dude up and does it. Like, no questions asked, like, oh, okay, old timer, here, I got you. Here, wraps him up, wipes him up, leaves the man his dignity the entire time. And yeah, again, like, probably the only redeeming quality of this dude is that, like, when somebody's in need, that dude's there to help.
So now the actor's grandfather has promised Dude an inheritance, just like his brother's grandfather, who is his grandfather, has promised Dude an inheritance. So
Mm-hmm.
when he goes and talks to the actor again, and honestly, I may have missed that the entire purpose of this was to get the performance out of Dude, because what Nathan does
Mm-hmm.
here is he riles him up, which I was so busy laughing at the fact that the actor sits down and says, well, my grandfather's dead, and I'm not going to let you have the inheritance because of your gold digging girlfriend.
I mean, you already. And then he's like,
It's
"Wait a
like,
minute! I said the entire time that she wasn't a gold digger. I've been explaining this to you this entire time."
oh my god! And then Nathan's like, okay, now do the scene, and I mean,
You.
it kind of makes sense that it's kind of okay that this guy
Mm,
disappears, because I wasn't even really looking at it from the perspective of just Nathan getting the performance out of this guy, which he did.
mm,
Which maybe that's the Fielder method after all.
yeah.
Uh, because after that, this guy gets sick of being fucked with, I think.
I think he
It
realized what
seems
happened.
like, yeah. At that point, he was like, okay, this is insane.
Yeah. Like, so what? And in all honesty, I thought what it would have made this, like, even
I'm just
more
worried
up.
about your girlfriend and everything I've heard about her. Amazing.
Yes.
It's like there's a
Yeah.
tiny door in the back of my shop with an alligator.
Yes. Um. But the thing that what I really wish would have happened in the end is that the grandfather gives this guy the money. It gives this guy right here the money, and then says, now, you know, my grandson ain't like too good with money. Like maybe say that he has like a gambling problem or something similar to what he's dealing with, but not on a parallel. But it's like, yeah, he's got his wife has a gambling addiction or something comparable to that. And, I don't want, I want to make sure that, she's not going to get it and just waste it all on, the slots. So I'm giving you this
Sure.
money and then you make the decision on whether or not, my grandson gets some money. I think that would have been an even deeper, like, I think it would have been even, I think it would have actually kind of hit home to this guy, like, what the brother could potentially be dealing with and kind of put him in, again, like
Oh, force
in
them
his
into the other side of the
in the
the
argument.
situation.
Yes, yes, yes,
Is it
yes,
okay? And like, so I told you that I watched a movie called Needful Things, and you know what I was
yes.
thinking about it. You know the it's not that movie has nothing to do with like you buy an item that you think is magical or really cool or whatever, and when
Mm,
you get home it has a person in it. Nothing like that happens in Needful Things, actually. But
really?
that is what you expect it to be. But it really is actually just everyone he sells all of the things. They are these dream items that these people want, like
Mm,
original baseball cards and whatever,
mm,
collector's items and shit, and
right.
toys they remember from their childhood. But he says he's always like, this is worth $10,000. I'll sell it to you for $1 and a promise. And then he sends them all on ridiculous errands that don't have anything to do with them. But
That's
all of
what it
the
was.
errands make someone else look like some aggression is starting. He has some
Mm,
kid throw turkey poop at the neighbor's sheets, but the neighbor's having a feud with the other neighbor, so they start fighting. And then he has someone fuck with the other neighbor until those two neighbors kill each other, until the whole town kills each other just by being manipulated by this one man. And that is that type of crime I believe Nathan is capable of. And what he's doing here is saying, everyone be nice to me, or I'll go from town to town manipulating people into murders.
well,
Because
I will make
he's on the
children.
edge of it right here. Oh boy. And this is
Yeah.
and this is almost, and I almost, again, this is something that I kind of don't even recommend. Don't even watch this show because
No, no. This cut deep.
this is where it ends up. This is where we end up with this
Oh
fucking
man. So
show.
so throughout the course of the show, like again, they've had progressively increased age children come out of the show, and there's this one boy, Remy. Actually, there's two boys on the show that, and I forgot to get a picture of the Ukrainian lady,
Oh boy, yeah,
which that whole situation was fucked up.
that whole situation is something else too.
So
Yeah, that's a real boy.
so
There's a
so
lot of
yeah.
not just anti-Semitism, but just religious nonsense and people
Yeah.
really not being nice to each other on all kinds of people.
Oh yeah.
Nasty people on all sides.
The terrible people on all sides. Yeah, no, like
Oh boy.
yeah, fucking gross. But the thing that really got me was the so Nathan is at odds with Angela. So Nathan basically steps in, becomes the father figure for the show for Angela, and he's basically fake raising this fake acting kid throughout the entire show, throughout the rest of the experiment. And
Yeah, however long each kid is
yeah,
there for a number of weeks,
yeah, and
depending on how
there
many
was
cycles, how many ages they go through.
and then there was the one kid who so Nathan first of all, I thought was really funny. Nathan, like they got into like what age 6 or something like that, and Nathan is at odds with Angela about the religious raising of of the child, and Nathan is
Oh
like,
yeah.
I would like my child to be raised with Jewish ideals as well as the Christian ideals, and then Angela's like, well, fuck no, because you know Judaism is a sin against Christianity, this and the other thing. It's not my religion, not my God. I'm not buying it. We're not doing that. So Nathan undercuts her and takes the kid to Jewish Sunday school, like Jewish Saturday school, Sabbath school, or something like that.
Did he get? Did she find out about this? Does he get caught doing like, I don't even remember how this ends up
No, no,
boiling.
no. He
He
didn't
ends
get.
up getting rid of her during this process.
Yeah,
But
yeah. No, no. He so for one, he didn't get caught doing it. Despite the fact that again, you're like this is supposed to be like like a IRL sort of experimentation. But not only did he like undercut her by doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing, but he also undercut the actual parent of the child actor, who came back later in the series to chastise Nathan for trying to convert her child to Judaism. I don't know if you remember that part. Uh,
I I remember him well, I
They were
remember him kind of asking one of the other mothers. I remember a conversation between him and one of the other mothers.
so the mother had
And
come.
her saying very similar stuff.
She was like a
But
Christian.
I
She
don't
was yeah.
well,
She was like
yeah,
she
yeah.
was a Christian, and goes to Nathan and was like hey, he's been telling me that you've been taking him to to temple and you're teaching him the Torah and all this shit. Like what the fuck, he doesn't know that that this is supposed to be acting, and now he's starting to believe in the whole the Jewish faith, and so Nathan has to denounce his faith to this
Yes.
child
Yes,
in
I
front
remember this.
yeah
Yes.
in front of the mother, basically saying no, Judaism is a complete lie and Jesus is like that
and
sort of.
and you get to go to heaven and I have to go to hell.
I died. I absolutely died that this guy had to basically denounce his entire faith for the sake of this television show, so he wouldn't get sued by this oh god, what do you call it? The moms that like make their kids do like drama school and shit like that. I fucking forget it because I know there's like pageant mom.
Let me get up and get a drink and get rid of this wooden
Yeah, yeah,
board.
yeah. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go grab something too really quick. I'll be right
Let's
back.
take a break.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Oh, kittens. Oh, nice. Oh, baby kitty, kitty, baby. I love it.
Right
I have my lily cat. What a special lily pie.
on. Ooh, kitty, kitty.
Oh, look at you.
I wonder where my cat's at. She's running around here somewhere. But
Yeah.
get back onto the proper set here. But yeah, like
Needful
yeah,
things.
yes.
Seriously.
The yeah. Again, I thought that was a bit the fact that Nathan had to denounce his faith for that one child actor was really funny. And then even more devastating was, of course, the situation with Remy here. It was a kid who,
Yeah, this is the final episode. It's fucked up.
as a as a person who grew up with that uh with somebody else filling in the fatherly role and finding it difficult as to pertain who to call dad and things like that. That really hit super close home, like close to home. This poor kid spent the entire time with Nathan, again, completely unaware that this is acting and
Yeah.
not and again, like children, you gotta really
He
really sell it
didn't
home to kid.
quite, yeah.
You gotta really sell it home because otherwise you're gonna end up with what happened here, which is the kid started believing that Nathan was supposed to be his new dad,
Yep.
and that devastated the hell out of me. Like, because I saw myself in the kid, I saw my mother in that woman. Like, oh my goodness, like absolutely, like gut wrenchingly terrible.
So that's why I want to put Nathan on my list of bad dads.
Mm. uh,
I think he's on it.
and yeah, but again, I found this to be fantastic, a fantastic um little subplot in the show where like, and the thing that really gets to me is the fact that Nathan, for the most part, doesn't really have any like he initially has this sort of like corporate robotic response to most of these situations.
He
Like,
is a robot. Like he is
he is
absolutely
in fact Jeff Bezos, and he's no, excuse me, not Jeff Bezos, fucking he's Mark Zuckerfucks, whatever his name is. Um,
Zuckerfucks.
yeah, 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 Zuckerberg. Yeah, he's like that cat. He's just a walking AI robot from the future with a baguette anus.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Mm. But and I should also be honest with the audience that in all honesty, this you've been manipulated once more. This has just been one really long episode of All Dads Are Bad. Bad
That
dads.
really, yeah,
All
that's
dads are
exactly what we're
bad.
doing here today. You got
Dads are
the,
being
yep, all
bad.
right. Let's
Super
talk
bad
about Nathan
dads.
for you on
All
All
dads are
Dads Are
bad.
Bad.
But yeah, something needs to be said about him being a bad dad. Like he like
Because this
so
was bad.
this was rough.
This is upsetting to watch.
It was so upsetting. It's like standing on the outside looking in, like you still felt it yourself. You felt like sick. Like you
It seems
yourself.
like the kid gets over it.
The kid does get over it, and he
It
he
seems
he
like he gets over it pretty. It seems like he's all right.
yeah, he understood.
And
Um,
Nathan puts in the work, and also has another kid to come and use the fielder method on Remy so he can replicate him.
oh my fucking
Like he's always on some level, he's always just making going along with whatever he's.
god. Mm.
You see him just making flowcharts for just the way he speaks to people every day, like he
Hmm.
behaves like a robot on purpose. That
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
So
absolutely. No, I
he's
I mean,
always on some level on some other plan.
Oh yeah.
At least during this show, there's always some scheme going on. It really he could destroy an entire main town, level it to the ground in a weekend.
Mm, absolutely. Absolutely. Like the so apparently they just recently announced that there's season 2 in the works, and I don't necessarily know how I feel about that. Like I'm like, yeah, more episodes, but I'm also like, no, he's going to manipulate more people into some horrible situations and try to feign some sort of, sense of uh responsibility or sadness that he caused such anguish amongst these people. Like I don't know, like and, and again, like I find that in certain ways, like it's the that with people in general that it is. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this. It's not necessarily like a control freak thing, but like people have this kind of need to have some control within things, and
Sure, sure.
this is just
This is
like
it at its
there's a
most
healthy amount of
egregious
control.
and horrifying level.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is just
yeah,
horrifying.
yeah, there's a like a healthy amount of control within your life, and then there's the fielder method. And I don't want to divulge too much more, but it eventually gets down to the point that like Nathan is rehearsing a rehearsal for a rehearsal for a rehearsal. And eventually you start to wonder where it's almost like the Matrix. Where does the rehearsal begin and
He starts
the
to
real
forget
rehearsal ends?
who
And
he's supposed to be.
yeah, who are we? And then it's just like have you ever seen that anime, the Paranoia Agent?
Oh yeah, sure.
The woman who's like she's supposed to be like she's like a tutor or something like that, and but she has like dissociative identity disorder, and so she like continually wears like different faces per the personalities that she puts on, but you don't know if she actually has dissociative identity disorder or if she's just like you know putting on an affront for every single person that she meets in her life. You're starting to wonder where like the cognitive understanding of the sense of self begins and understanding of where it ends. And eventually she goes insane to the point that she like tries to do the makeup for multiple personalities and just puts on a whole and ends up like painting herself into a clown. That's how I feel this situation just evolved, is that he put on all these personalities and makeups, and now he just looks like a clown in the sense of like he can't control himself by going into these little um into other people's shoes to because he can't by himself understand the concept of going into somebody else's shoes. So he has to literally do it in order to get any sort of emotional like comparison or not comparison, like some sort of emotional um tick on
Anything.
his any sort
Reaction.
of tick on his radar.
Any sort of emotional anything.
Yes.
Uh, is Paranoia Agent the show with the kid on rollerblades?
Yeah. Little Slugger. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't remember somebody putting on masks, but I mean, but there's a lot
Oh
of
no, no,
things that happen in that show.
makeup.
Or makeup. Oh,
She
okay.
was
I don't
the
really. I'm not
she was the
sure.
substitute teacher for the kid who was like the one who was like he also had a gold pair of rollerblades, and people started calling him Little Slugger, suspecting him of being a little slugger, but he was just a overachiever kid just trying to live his life, and people kept accosting
I
him
should
and
watch.
calling
I
him.
guess I should watch that show again.
It's a mind fuck, dude. Maybe we'll do an
Satoshi
episode.
Kon.
Yeah, we'll do an we'll do a maybe we'll do an episode on that because I think that's a series that people severely need to pick up. It was a it's I personally find it to be a pivotal show. It it opened the doors for a lot of really good like psychological horror writing within anime and manga.
Okay.
Yeah, that show
Yeah.
and
Sure.
yeah, what was it? Flowers of Evil. It's another good show if you ever get a chance to. I think that's on Crunchyroll still for free. But Flowers of Evil is fantastic. That's a show that's another show about just extreme amounts of manipulations to the point of absolutely devastating a person's life.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna try and not spoil too much, but basically this like high school kid is absolutely enamored with this girl, and one day he comes across her gym uniform and takes it home with him. And he does all the usual creepy tropes from anime. He's sniffing it and you know putting it on top of him, thinking about what it would feel like to have her on top of him and weird shit like that. And then the next day, um, the entire school is in a hullabaloo because somebody stole this poor girl's gym uniform, and they think that it was possibly a
Yeah.
homeless man who like frequents the area, that he stole it and was being a creep about it. And this kid tries to hide it the entire time, but was found out by the quietest girl in the class that nobody likes. And this girl is just like, okay, I know your secret. I know you took her gym uniform. So from here on out, you're going to do everything I say if you don't want to, be caught. And it is just one big narrative of manipulation from um, the girl who's holding the kid to blackmail the kid himself, as well as the girl he was infatuated with. It's just the never-ending line of manipulation and weirdness, and
Sure.
like it is an absolutely like jaw-dropping series. It's super good. Like I find myself like I don't know, like everybody has like that thing, like everybody has a thing with like oh, you're an adult, why are you watching like high school anime and things like that. Well, I mean, just like in the same manner that like people really liked Lord of the Flies, it is very much like like the straight representation of like of it's a straight up representation of like humans without filters, because at that point children don't really necessarily know how to place up that filter to not be just like Ignore the Flies, violent, vile, and disgusting social you know creatures. um but yeah, Flowers of Evil is definitely like another like take the yeah take that like like the psychological horror of Paranoia Agent, and uh yeah, add in like a dash here and there of like general anime tropes, and you've got Flowers of Evil. It's fucking wild. It's a good read. I've read the manga and I watched the series. It's pretty good. The animation for the show's great. But yeah, I think that covered the rehearsal. I think that was pretty much the entirety of the show, like without giving away too much of it. I don't know. Is there anything else on top of there you wanna add to the
I
show?
think that about does it. That
Yeah,
about does it for old Nathan.
yeah, man.
Bad number one, bad dad.
Numero
Bad
uno,
fake dad.
bad faith dad. But
Fake bad dads.
all dads are fake. But yeah, yeah. But again, dude, thank you so much again for showing me this show. It really fucked up. It really fucked me up, man. Like just absolutely floored me with how ridiculous it was. This was great. Thanks again for hosting the watch session for that.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, if there's one more thing, what I thought about almost the entire time is that like I really think that there is a piece of this kind of just absolutely sociopathic, manipulative, just monsterhood in a lot of people. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people have this kind of flowchart going on in their brains.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's what kind of made me sick is that like you know it's like weighing the dialogue options in a Fallout game. Like you feel like your
Yeah,
entire life is doing that. Like that I can level with that. Well, if I say this thing,
wacko shit.
then I'm going to if I say this thing, then I'm going to completely upset the entirety of the NCR, and they're gonna
Let's do it.
or yeah, no, fuck the NCR. I've always been a well, I was only with the Brotherhood only because the NCR was just fucking stupid when as it pertained to New Vegas.
Is
But
that the Brotherhood of Steel?
yeah, Brotherhood of Steel. I
Do
liked
they
New
piss in
Vegas.
those spacesuits?
Well, I mean,
You think?
considering the entire process of getting out of power armor suits, I sincerely wonder how they would piss in those. But but yeah, when it came to four, I was with the railroad all the way. I like that. I like the railroad's concept there of helping out the synths. They were kind of brought into this world unnecessarily, and you know they can't help themselves. They don't know what's going on. They're just they they just exist, and you know we shouldn't just be up and killing synths out of nowhere. Just like that AI that wants to be alive, we shouldn't just up and kill it. You know it has a heartbeat, something something. No, I really don't believe that. Anyway, no, oh that's another interesting thing was I was watching stuff about AI today, and
Okay.
yeah, I don't know that it scares me, but it doesn't in a sense. I don't know. It scares me to the point that like it scares me in a Terminator sense, but it also amuses me in the Ed 209 from RoboCop sort of manner where you know you have 10 seconds to comply and then it just stumbles all over itself. Like
Yes.
I have this weird duality in my head as to what the AI future is going to look like, and it is somewhere between an Ed 209 slipping on a banana peel and Terminator is destroying us all. Somewhere in there's a fine line in between that. But, but anyway, um, yeah, I think I'm gonna make some roasted chicken legs, and
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Awesome.
I'm
Yeah,
stoked
I
on that.
almost I guess I'm gonna wait a little while now that I've eaten a block of cheese. I don't think I quite need to be
I didn't think you were gonna
cooking up
eat the whole plot.
well, you put it in front of me and I'm smoking pot and talking about bullshit. The cheese goes away.
Yeah, cheese has a means of disappearing like that. But but yeah, dude, thanks. Yeah, thanks again for allowing me to use you for the social experiment for today with the script. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was I didn't, yeah. You
I
didn't
want
need to write it, but that was very funny. I'm glad that you did.
yes, I want it known to everybody that this man right here neither eats foreskin cheese nor his own poop, and he very well knows what the 26th Amendment is, if not now. So
Now
so
I
yeah,
do. Now
now.
I know what an amendment is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even going to go into that shit. It's always some amendment with those types of people. So I thought I thought I would show my constitutional prowess in the in the show.
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks y'all for joining us. This has been thought that was weird. I've been Thrash K Shoot. This has
Yeah,
been CuyaDK. We've had a
that's
rad
right.
one. We'll catch y'all next Tuesday, 5:30. Same bat time, same bat place. Take it easy,
That's
gang.
correct.
Have a good one.